Come Dancing's Halloween special was a spooky yet spectacular show with some incredible performances from the celebrities and their professional partners. Rose and Giovanni continue to go from strength to strength and received the first Halloween perfect score in Strictly history. Tilly and Nikita seriously impressed with their cheeky cha-cha-cha, and Reese and Nancy bounced back from the bottom two and gave their all in the Paso Doble.
Well, once again for Strictly Insider, we are so happy to be joined by a very special guest, and this week it's again Janette Manrara. So welcome, Janette.
Can you hear me and see me okay?
Can hear you and see you perfectly. Let's start with the big talking point, the first 40 this in the series ever. Was it worth it? Gio is the king of Halloween, clearly. What was it about it that made it a perfect score?
I think besides the fact that she danced it technically brilliant, Rose has this amazing ability to really perform, and that comes from her acting and her ability to be able to portray characters. The acting that she delivered as the Ice Queen made the dancing go even more up a level. And you know, we need to say it straight off the back in today's chat. The hair and makeup team and the props department and the wardrobe department, really, I feel like we didn't get a Halloween week last year, but they more than made up for it this year with the dances we got this year. And Rose and Giovanni's tango was no exception, because she just looked amazing. And the chair and the set and the whole thing was just, it was so deserving of a perfect score.
Halloween actually looks like it's definitely one of the most fun weeks just because of the costumes, because they're amazing. Does it feel like that on the night, or is there more pressure?
No, it does. I was so sad. Every weekend I've been trying to go to Strictly and be there backstage on the Saturday to kind of get a feel for everyone and how it's going. And Halloween is always one of the funnest ones to be backstage for, because you don't really know who's who, because the hair and makeup is so full on.
Good.
And then you go like, oh my God, Johannes, is that you under the werewolf thing? You know, like you just don't know who's who. And then a lot of the times we don't really even find out what the concepts are until we get to the studio on the Friday or Saturday.
With so much excitement has to come the sadness, and Judy and Graziano obviously had to come home. What did you make of the result? Did you think it was the right decision?
I do think it was the right decision. I mean, I feel awful for Judy, because bless her, she had to deal with feeling unwell and COVID and really not getting as much rehearsal time as she would have probably wanted. And in the dance off, you know, she did lose her timing a little bit again right at the top of the routine. I think it was a lot of pressure on her to come back and have little rehearsal time after feeling unwell and dance the way that she did. So I want to give her kudos for just coming back and like holding her head up high and going for it, and at least providing us with that little bit more fun of a routine.
And with Judy was Adam in the bottom two as well. And we were quite surprised about that. Were you? Do you think there's going to be more shocks as the weeks go on?
I was really shocked to see Adam in the bottom. But it just goes to show you what this year is like. You know, I think it's really going to come down to just the actual specific dances. Adam really, I felt massively improved. You know, his quick step that he did a couple weeks back was his first ballroom, and it didn't go so well. He was really nervous about it. And then he came back this week with his Viennese, and I just thought his ballroom improved massively.
Do you think they were surprised themselves? I mean, I feel like the judges' comments were quite harsh.
I think the judges have to be harsh. This is one of those years that, because the level is so high, we had the earliest ever 40. He beat me and Harvey. I think Harvey and I were the ones that had that record, and now Giovanni and Rose beat Harvey and I. It's the level is so high. We're getting 10 so early on, perfect scores so early on, that the judges have to start being picky even earlier as well, and really nailing in on all those details.
And Zara and Aljaz actually received quite some harsh comments as well from the judges. I think maybe they took a risk, but I think it paid off for viewers at home who loved it. But do you see where the judges were coming from there?
Zara and Aljaz, I think this weekend really challenged themselves. A couple's choice is a dance where you can try anything and go for anything. That's the whole point. You can either play it really safe and be all right on the night, or you can just go for it, because you're allowed to do whatever you want. But as a wife and friend, I was so happy to see that people still got behind them and voted for them to stay in, because I think they were both very, very nervous on the results show about whether or not they were going to go through.
But another couple that did amazing as well was AJ and Kai. Once again, a fantastic routine. It was electric. But do you think their chemistry adds a little bit of sparkle to it. They have a really good chemistry together. So what do you think of that?
We have to be careful when we use the word chemistry, because I know that, the word can be used for a lot of things. When we talk about chemistry on the dance floor, chemistry dancing together, they are a very good dance partnership. They get along incredibly well as friends. And then on the dance floor, the chemistry that they have dancing together really, really comes across. I think especially with this, the way that Kai choreographed that Viennese waltz was brilliant. He was so good at creating this Medusa, dangerous woman character, and she was able to really jump into that character as well and take full charge of it. And her dancing is just sensational.
And as always with Halloween week, there are lots of fantastic performances, dramatic costumes, and many standout moments. So for you, Janette, what was one standout moment from Halloween week?
I have to congratulate Tilly, Ramsey, and Nikita. For a female to come out and do a cha-cha-cha on Halloween week with all that makeup, with that big hair, with the whole thing. Not only was her technique brilliant in the cha-cha-cha, but the choreography and the storytelling that the two of them had together was just amazing. It was one of my favorites of the night, I have to say.
You've obviously done your fair share of Halloweens. What's your favorite memory?
My most special moment of Halloween week was in 2014. Aljaz and I did a group dance where it was like Snow White and the Huntsman themed. And I got to play Snow White and he was the huntsman, and we had the whole cast with fire and smoke, and the storytelling was just so beautiful in that dance. And it was one of the first times that Aljaz and I got to really lead a pro dance as boyfriend. At that time, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend. We weren't even married or anything. So I think that we've got one of those, one of the moments of the routine, we photographed and put up massively in our house, because it was such a special moment for us as a couple to do that on Halloween week. And to this day, still one of our favorite pro dances we've ever done.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this week's Strictly Insider. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tune in next week where we will be joined by another famous Strictly face. Bye.